Hello, in today's video I'll be looking at this, and this is my new electric bike. So let's get on with it. Roll titles! Welcome to the channel if it's your first time here, and welcome back if it's not. Now in today's video, yes, we'll be looking at this box here. And this box contains my new electric bike, and this is the DYU Stroll 1. Now you might remember that I do already have an electric bike, because I do, and I made a video about it, which I'll put a link to up in one of the corners. And that was the DYU C6. And it's a great bike, I love it, but they've just released this Stroll 1 and I had to give it a go. I'll obviously tell you a few bits and bobs about the bike as we go, but the headline is, it costs around about £1,100, which is not very cheap at all, but this is a sort of slightly more premium bike. It's sort of on the top end of their bikes, and it really does look amazing. So yeah, it's not cheap, but there will be discounts and promotions on it, and any sort of bargains that I find, I will stick a link to in the description. There might even be a few coupon codes floating around. So yeah, look in the description and hopefully you can get this for the best possible price. Now something that's different about this compared to my C6 is that it has an aluminium frame. So the aluminium frame means it weighs about 19.5 kilograms compared to the 24.5 kilograms of the C6. So there is quite a marked difference. But yeah, this has just come out and I'm really excited to show it to you. So I guess we better get on with it and get it out of the box. Now there is some assembly required. It's not sort of ready to go out of the box. So if you do get one of these, don't imagine that you're going to be up and riding it immediately. Now I will try my best to show you sort of how to build it and how to set it up, but it is quite hard to film that kind of stuff and keep the video interesting. But DYU on their YouTube channel actually have a full build guide, and you know, that's really simple and good to look through if you want to. But yeah, I'll try and cover as much as I can. Anyway, enough yapping. Let's get this open. Now I've received this in the black color. It does sort of come in a kind of whitey gray color as well, which both of them look really stylish. So instead of you watching me unpack in real time, I'm just gonna speed through it. And then while I'm doing it, I'm gonna give a shout out to all the people who've joined my channel. You can join my channel through one of three ways. You can do it via Patreon, YouTube or Facebook and become a channel member. And basically it just helps support the channel a bit financially and make me smile. You want me to smile, don't you? Don't you? So while I get the rest of this unpacked, I'm going to shout out those awesome people who've already joined. And if you want to shout out in an upcoming video, then just join and become one of the cool people. Anyway, let's get this out. So first up we've got our kit fans who are Matt Lovey's JLC Electrical, For the Burbs, Wayne Cornish, Mike Cass, Rob Lynn, Scott Made a Thing, Michael Wood, Draco MacGyver, Rebecca, Rachel Hadley, Tom Wood and Chelsea B. Then you have to get up really early to beat the Kip Early Birds who are Dean Ball, Shauna Cablesmith Electrical, Tim Salt, Sorcerer San and Mark C. And I love these guys so much and they love me too. They are the Kip lovers and they are Bella Webster, Stestics Fix, Lawrence, Scott Kendall and Props Retro Fix. And oh my goodness, these are the best. They are the cream of the crop. They rise to the top. They are the Kip nutters, and that is Becky Boobar and Alan Green. Thank you so much Becky and Alan for your top tier support, and big love to all the other channel members. Well, here we have the bike all unpacked. I'm going to leave as much of this sort of packaging material on for now while I'm building it and sort of gradually take it off just to protect it from any scratches and stuff. Now this is a little box and it contains our pedals, a multi-function wrench, the charger, instructions and warranty cards. So there's our instructions. I've got a vague idea of how to put this together, but always handy to have them here. Further details and bits of paper. Then we've got our pedals, got a spanner, 14 and 17 mil. Here's our charger. So this is almost like a kind of Swiss Army knife, but it's got all the tools for the bike in it. And you can flip them out. So you want a spanner? There's a spanner. Yeah, you can just put it away. Very nice. So also in our box here, we've got some bits and bobs and what we use to hold the mudguard in place. That makes sense. And this is our quick release thing for the wheel as well, and a spare key by the looks of things. Cool. Well, I've been joined by my assistant James here, who's
Hello.
going to be dipping in and out to help with this process. Now, the instructions do say about putting on the wheel first, but I think we're going to put on the stand first, so it means it can stand up. So now it's time to put the wheel on, and I think we've got to spin this round because this bit here has got to be facing out that way.
That is the stem.
That is the stem, is it? Okay, top tip from Bots. So it's actually got a mineral oil brake system, so it's sort of slightly, well, very hydraulic-y, which is pretty cool. So no, we don't need to turn this bit round. We need to turn the top round, loosen it off and spin it round. This is actually the right way round. But before we put the tyre on, we've got to put the mudguard on the front, sort of here-ish. Let's do that. So this guy down here is sort of for shipping purposes. Yeah, so it makes it so the forks don't bend in transit. So yeah, we've just got to whiz this off. So down here in the brake, we've got a little bit of packaging for shipping as well. It's a little bit of black plastic. James is going to pull that out for me. Perfect. So that's what the disc brake goes into. So just got to take the covers off.
I don't even know how they come off.
Then you just give them a pull. There you go, 1, 2. So obviously this is our disc brake, and that has to go through the caliper that I've just showed you. So we just got to get our quick release mechanism ready for the front wheel. So got to unscrew this. Got our tyre roughly in position, then we need to push that through like that. And on the other side, got to get our screw in position. And there we go, that is on. There we go, locked in. Excellent, perfect. Now we do need to do a little bit of adjustment on the mudguard because it's rubbing against the wheel, but that's why we left it loose. Okay, so now we've got to spin this round so it's facing the front. And we do that by loosening up this guy at the top and also these guys here. And we'll get it roughly as it should be. So we'll tighten that up before we take our first ride, but that looks roughly about right for now. So the handlebar obviously goes through here, but first we need to start unwrapping our brakes and the digital gauge, which we'll talk about in a mo. So just revealing, I think this is the gear shifter. Yeah, so we've got
1x
We've got 1x
system.
A 1x system with how many gears, Bot?
7.
7 gears, cool. Now I'm pretty certain the manual tells you to put the handlebars in position first, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to get these onto the handlebars roughly and then get it into position, because there's not much slack on these cables, so it means that it's just slightly easier to do. Okay, so it doesn't have an electric horn like the C6 does. It's got a little, whoa, pingy bell. Now we've got our lights that we need to adjust and put into position. And then, yeah, we've got the grip on the other side. Very nice, and it's sort of like a leathery kind of grip, which is quite classy. So James is currently unscrewing these guys at the front. And I'm going to take the leather grips off the handlebars so we can get our brakes and gears in and on. So this is why we haven't screwed the handle in position, because there is not much clearance. So yeah, got to get the brakes in position roughly. Okay, let me tighten those up. Well, we've got everything roughly where we want it. Got our brake, our display, our bell, probably move that slightly in a mo, and then our other handle and the brake and the gear shifter. It's all screwed in nicely. Now we've just got to make off these connections here. It's quite straightforward. One's green, one's orange. So now it's time to get the seat in position. So just open the quick release mechanism. We'll just sort of keep it at its lowest position for now. Now I might need to just tighten this up a spin. There we go, perfect. Nice. Okay, so now it's time to get the pedals on, and they are labelled handily. So we've got L on there and we've got L on there, and it tells you the way that you screw them in and what direction you should be turning. You actually have to turn that bit. There you go. And you just sort of start on them off by hand, and then once it gets a bit too difficult, you can use the spanner. That in?
Yeah.
Excellent. Now we've got to go around and do the other side. And once again, it's a case of R and R. Well, here we go. The bike is complete and it looks amazing. I cannot tell you how happy I am with it. Now, I didn't really go too much into the technical specifications of it. So it's got a top speed of 15.5 miles an hour, which is around about 25 kilometers an hour. And the range is about 62 miles, and that's about 100 kilometers on a single charge. And I think the battery charge takes between 6 to 8 hours to do a full charge. So while we're talking about the battery, down here is where the battery is. You can sort of see the join, and it's got a 36 volt 9 amp hour battery, and it's got a charge port so you can charge it on the bike, which is protected by this rubber bung. But if you want to take it off the bike to charge, you can just put your key in and then twist it to the unlocked position. And there we go, it's actually loose now, ready to take out. I won't take it fully out because it's a bit difficult with one hand. Now, the subject of power, down there is our 250 watt motor, but it does have a maximum output of 500 watts, which is interesting. So I don't know whether it's, you know, just slightly uprated just in case you need it, but 250 watts is, I believe, the legal maximum on UK roads. But there we go, that is the motor. And for those of you interested in gears, here's the Shimano gear system. Now, this does not have a throttle. It is pedal assist only. And I think we're going to see more of that because that basically complies with British and a lot of EU laws, because you're only meant to use throttles when you're on private land. You're not allowed to use them on public roads because it's something to do with it being like a mopedy electric bike thing. So yeah, you can only run this in pedal assist mode, and it does have some different options, so you can change the amount of pedal assist that you get, and I'll show you how you do that in a second. Now, this has got an inbuilt light here at the front, which is part of the battery, so you can turn it on while you're cycling. There's no light on the back, it's only got a reflector, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked to have seen like a front and back light, just, you know, to ensure that everyone's kept safe. But you can easily get a replacement light that can go on the back that can be battery powered. It's not too bad. But yeah, it was all relatively easy to set up and build. The instructions are actually quite good. But what I'll do now is I'll just show you the display and sort of how it works. So to turn the bike on, we've got to press this button here at the top and hold it. There you go. The bike fires into life. Perfect. So this is your speed. I'm not sure if it does it in miles an hour or kilometers an hour. We'll have to see when we're out and about. And this is the battery level down here. And you can alter the amount of pedal assist just by pressing on the display. So you press it once, twice, 3 times, there's no 4th time, and then you can turn it down by pressing at the bottom. If you press and hold the top, you see the display's dimmed, and it's a bit hard to see in perfect daylight, but the light is on, and there's a little symbol there to show that the light's on. And yeah, you can just press and hold to turn it off. Well, there you go. The bike is built, and I don't think there's anything else to do. I think actually I do need to check the tyre pressures before I take it out for a ride, so I will do that off camera. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you in suspense a little bit and actually take it out for a ride and do the full review in part 2 of this video. Now, if you're watching it on the day of release, then the video will be out tomorrow. If you're not watching it on the day of release, then the video will already be out, and I'll link to it up in the corner, and I'll put a card up at the end of the video so you can hop straight to it. Now, I think there's some sort of secret options in the menu where we might be able to tweak some of the bike settings as well. So I'll show you all of that in part 2 once I've fathomed them all out. But yeah, initial impressions are good, but what's it like to ride? Well, you'll have to like and subscribe and come back for part 2, and we'll find out exactly how it goes. So yeah, I don't have anything else to say. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but for now, it's game over.